Geometry. Welcome to day 19 of your AMI packet. We are almost done with these videos. We are so close. But today we're talking about circles, okay? And you'll be given an equation. This is an equation of a circle right here, and then you're asked to graph it. So let's look at graphing this first. There are two things that we need in order to graph a circle. We first need to know what the center is. Okay, and then we also need to know what our radius is. Okay, we need to know those two things. What's my center? What's my radius? Now, given this equation, we can pull this out of our equation. Your center is these two numbers here. So whenever we're finding the center of a circle, my x coordinate for the center is in this first set of parentheses with the x. My y coordinate of my center is over here in this set of parentheses with the y. So whenever we write our center, right now that's a -3 and that's a +2. Whenever we write the center, and this, I could go into explaining why this happens, but just take my word for it for the purpose of this video. Ask me when we go back to school and I'll show you how to do it mathematically. But whenever you're taking that 3 and that 2 from these parentheses, you're going to change their signs whenever you write the center. So this is a -3, so wherever you write your center, it's going to be a +3, comma. This 2 is positive, so whenever I write it down for my center, it's going to be 2. Okay? So that's the first thing we need to know. The next thing I need to know is, what is my radius? Your radius has to do with this number right here. More often than not, whenever you're graphing a circle, this is going to be a perfect square. And so I'm going to take the square root of this number right here to find out what my radius is. So if I take the square root of 16, that gives me 4. And so my radius is 4. So let's look at how to graph this. We're going to start with graphing the center of our circle. Our center is at 3, -2. And in my handy dandy, very accurate coordinate plane, we're going to graph that point. 3, -2 means I'm going to start at the origin, go right 3 and down 2. Right there is my center at 3, -2. Now I'm going to use my radius. Now a radius of a circle is just the distance from the center of a circle to an outside edge. So since I know what the center of my circle is, I can find an outside edge point using that. So I'm going to start here at my center. I'm going to go left, right, up, and down. So I'm going to start off with going to the right. If I start at my center, I need to go right 4. I'm still staying I'm at -2 on my y, so I'm just going straight to the right 4 units. So 1, 2, 3. Need another line. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my right edge. I'm going to start at my center again and go left 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my right edge. I'm going to start at my center again. I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be a whole lot easier on your graph because you have the little boxes. And then I'm going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once I have all of those points, it's just a matter of connecting them in something that is circular shaped. Hey, that wasn't half bad, kind of. And this is the graph of your circle. Okay? All right, let's look at how to write an equation based on if you were given the center and the radius. So we're going to kind of do the reverse of what we did in that last problem. We're going to set up our, that's always squared equals. Okay, my first set has my x coordinates, my second set has my y coordinates. And we're going to look up here at my center, and I know that my x coordinate for my center is -3/2. Now remember, whenever we were given the equation, we had to take the opposite of that to actually find our center. So whenever we're given our center, we're going to do the opposite of that in our equation. So it's a negative 3/2 here. So it'd be plus 3/2 down here. My y-coordinate is a positive 2. So I'm going to switch that up and make it a negative 2 down there. And it's always equal to whatever your radius is squared. So if my radius is 7, then 7 squared is 49. And this is the equation for this circle with this center and this radius. All right, and then we have one more thing to do on here where we're finding circumference, okay? So if you're given a circle, okay, I'm given a circle, I need to find the circumference. So the circumference is this line here. It's the distance around our circle. Kind of like if we had a fence, a circular fence, I want to know how much fencing would go around this circle, and it's got a radius of 5. Now the formula to find circumference is equal to pi d. Okay, so circumference equals pi times d, and d is your diameter. So C is circumference. Anyway, close enough, circumference. And D is your diameter. Okay? So for this circle, I'm given the radius. That's halfway across my circle. My diameter, however, is all the way across my circle. I need to know what this distance is all the way across. Okay, that's your diameter. So in order to do that, if half the distance is 5, then my diameter for this circle is 10, because it's 2 times whatever the radius is. So for the circumference of this circle, it's going to be pi times 10. And get in your calculator. Pi times 10 is 31.4. Okay, and let's say this is in inches. I'm going to make it in inches. We're not going to say it. We've just made it so. So my circumference is also going to be in inches. So the distance around this circle is 31.4 inches. Have a good day.